Vote now for my Gundam submission on LEGO ideas, and it can be made into a real LEGO set. Link in the description. What's up, LEGO fans? I'm James May, but not that James May, back again with another cold. I'm like a sickly wee Victorian child. LEGO designer turned AFOL, and this is Tubeside, show where we take a sneak peek underneath the brick to see how LEGO sets are made. My cat's actually on the sofa just there, but I don't think the camera can pick it up, so hang on, yeah. This is the long overdue second Q&A where I answer questions from the comments. Now, the plan was to do this in kind of blocks of episodes, but then people started asking questions in the older episodes again, so this is just questions from anywhere I can find them. So let's get to it then. Roll the intro. Wait, we already rolled the intro. Roll something. Question 1. This is Fubar asks if there's any chance of the LEGO group bringing back themes like Rock Raiders and Adventures, even if just as one-offs. Now, obviously I can't comment on any future releases that may or may not be happening in the future from the LEGO group, but also with every passing day, I know less and less about things that are happening in the future, so who knows what those crazy designers get up to. But yeah, in the future I can see that people who grew up with those toys, when they get into positions of power at the LEGO group, they'll be making those decisions to say like, oh yeah, why don't we make a nostalgia set of, yeah, say Rock Raiders or Adventures? And at that point, we would then start seeing these kind of like 90s and 2000s nostalgia. And then we're going to start feeling really old when there's people nostalgic for the Lego movie and they start doing anniversary sets for that. My dream would be that in 20 years time, some designer makes an anniversary set of something that I designed, so like a $100 super robot or something. That would be really cool. Notch Brothers 2 asks, how different is designing a model versus designing a mock? Very, it turns out. Watch my video on the whole design process to find out more about that. BrickHQ asks, what do the numbers mean on the back of the typewriter? I'm pretty sure it's Steve Guinness's birthday, who's the fan designer. Give him a big old happy 50th on July 3rd. Cody asks, how does it feel to see the online hatred towards the typewriter from Bionicle fans, as a Bionicle fan myself? So for context, when the typewriter was announced, there was a Bionicle submission in the same review window that also got to 10,000 that didn't get selected. I mean, I was also sad that it didn't get picked, but that decision's made by someone way above my pay grade in another building, so I had no say in it, so I don't feel any personal guilt, but, you know, yeah, I was quite sad. But we also got some pretty good memes out of it, so, you know, ups and downs. Mad Dad Brick asked, was it intentional that the mechanism in the typewriter is similar to a clock? I mean, I guess we didn't set out for it to be similar to a clock though. I think it's just a very efficient mechanism for releasing energy in slow increments. Greyman PL asked, what is the procedure for third-party IPs with LEGO Ideas winners? Do I know what happens if the IP partner declines? Do we consult with the IP partner during the design process? Yeah, the IP partner would be asked before making a public announcement. Otherwise, that would be incredibly embarrassing to say, oh yeah, we're making this new LEGO set, and then the IP partner comes back saying, wait, no you're not. Because that phase comes first, if they ever did say no, then the public would never know about it. Not that I can either confirm nor deny that that ever happened while I was there. But yeah, like all third-party IP models, they go through loops of checks with the IP partner to make sure that it matches the source material. Phil Poe asks if Billy was considered for the Hocus Pocus model. So Billy was in the original fan submission, so at the start it was considered, but after talking with the IP partner, it was decided to be taken out of the model. I don't know why, but yeah, it is how it is. Plastic Toa asks, what element is used for my ZAKU mock shoulder spikes? Well, first of all, don't forget to support my idea on LEGO Ideas so it can be made into a real LEGO set. So the element used is actually a clown hat from the collectible minifigure line. It was never actually released in green, so it kind of raises the debate about, is digital building a bit too much of a crutch because you can have every brick in any color? Like, does it count as an NPU if it never actually came in white? I'll let you guys hash that out in the comments. Shy Guy XXL asks why there's a 2x2 jumper in the tree in the Animal Crossing set. So for context, in the Animal Crossing set that I worked on, there's a tree with a 2x2 that I used a jumper, so it just has the one stud in the middle rather than the four studs, and it seems a bit weird that I did that, but the reason why I did that is because elsewhere in the same bag I have 2x2s in green, but it's bright green, so I didn't want that getting confused with the dark green that's used in the tree, so I made sure that the geometry looks different as well as the color. Because in different lighting, the colors could look the same in the instructions or even in front of you, so it just makes the building experience a lot more smooth to have zero ambiguity. Raisum asks, why do some sets have multiple pieces to make up common element shapes? Is this to artificially inflate the piece count? No. You should check out my article that I actually wrote on the subject. Normally it's either for build experience or because of color change limitations. So similar to the last question, if there is two elements that look quite similar, like a 1x1 brick and a 1x1 brick with a stud on the side, they could make up the 1x1 brick out of 3 plates. So it looks like it's inflating the part count, but so you don't confuse it with the other brick. Also, if there's exotic colors in the model, there's only so many color changes that the designer has per model, so they maybe wanted to use that color change elsewhere, so they're making that brick up out of smaller bricks to get the same shape. Bricks Ahoy asked how hamstrung I was with the color budgets on BTS Dynamite. Yeah, the answer is very hamstrung. As I said before, there's only so many color changes that a designer gets for each set, and with this one, the vast majority of them went towards the minifigures, getting the new torsos, the new hair pieces, the new face prints, the new colors and all that. So yeah, that took that all up, so I only had a few left to spare, but I made creative use of what I had, so the colors are not 100% accurate in some of the places, but I use similar bright colors to get the same vibe as in the music video. Just kind of think of it as a JoJo color palette swap. Sam Powers asks, who sits on the LEGO Ideas review board and how long does it take? Is the review virtual or in person? And is there permanent Ideas employees? And do sets get approved and worked on before the public know? The review board is a bunch of, like marketing and managers and all these kinds of people. None of the LEGO designers. I also don't know if it's virtual in person. Like a lot of corporate meetings these days, it's probably a bit of hybrid where some people are working from home, some people are in the office, but it's also probably a lot more mundane than you're thinking. It's not like a council of elders is gathered and they're all wearing robes. It's like, yes, this will be the LEGO Ideas set for this month. And yeah, even though LEGO Ideas models are announced way before the final product is revealed, we still would have been working on it for a while before that even. So it'll be at the point where the model isn't finished, but it's far enough along that the social media team know that it will actually be released, so they can announce it. Whoops, forgot to record me say this answer, but yes, there is a permanent LEGO Ideas team. Yeah, it used to be just guest designers that they would take from other teams, but then they decided once the team grew enough that they would have a permanent team, although they do still get guest designers from time to time. Ice Dragon asks, what's my favourite LEGO element and am I planning on making any mocks? My favourite LEGO element is the Minecraft plate. I feel like that, along with the Brickhead's brick, are really easy ways for entry-level AFOLs to get to know the kind of more complicated snot building system with the whole 2 modules is 5 plates thing. So I think it's a really good element for people who are wanting to build past just what's in the instructions to like elevate their models to something a bit better. As for mocks, maybe. I don't actually have a stock of bricks at home, so I'll be building digitally. Controversial, I know. I think after working for the LEGO group, I only know how to build as a designer and not really know how to build for fun. So I think if I was to make my own stuff, it would be as commissions as part of my side hustle or for like LEGO Idea submission. Don't forget to support now. Ice Dragon asks why they didn't include the player character in the Animal Crossing sets. I wouldn't say it was to save on designing new molds, but realistically they couldn't put the player character in as there's so many different things that constitute what the player character is. Everything in that game is all about personalization, so you wouldn't be able to make something that is your villager, it would just be a generic villager, and they didn't want to go down that route. It's different from something like Minecraft, where there is actually a default skin, so you can put that in. And then later down the road, they did start introducing more things, so maybe they'll do that. I don't know. ATMHSO asks, how is Bill in life, and how's my Danish? My Danish is pants. It is a very hard language to learn and even harder to practice because everyone in Denmark speaks absolutely flawless English, so everyone always switches to English whenever I try to speak Danish, so at this point I just speak English. I don't actually live in Billund, except for Legoland, there is nothing to do there. It's good if you wanted to live close to work, or like I think the school is pretty good there too. As for the weather, I lived in Glasgow for 10 years, so no amount of rain can faze me. Full ECK asks, how long before the set is released is the designer given an initial production copy? Well, from what I've heard since I left, they don't actually get this copy anymore, so I don't even know what's the point in designing a LEGO set if you don't get a free copy at the end. But for what it used to be, I can't talk exact time frame, but it would be close enough to the launch that if there was a problem that needed sorting, then it would be very much like a stop the presses moment and a huge deal to go and change it. During my time there, I hadn't heard of any time that this happened, so it is a very rare occurrence if it does ever happen at all. Full ECK also gave me a tip about something, but I can't be bothered reading that. So yeah, that wraps up about everything. So thanks again for watching another Q&A of Tubeside. Let me know down in the comments if you have any more questions, either from one of my previous videos or based on what I talked about here. Don't forget to support my Gundam vs ZAKU LEGO idea submission, link down below. And yeah, thanks again to everyone who's been supporting me on this journey. It's been really cool. I've even had people offer to buy me a proper lighting setup. Next week is an episode on the Super Robot, but I actually filmed that one first, way back several months ago. So that video is going to be a little bit raw compared to the others. So please excuse the lower production values that you've grown so accustomed to. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that, and ding the bell, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.